everyone, we're talking bronzing today. Bronzing in all forms. On the eyes, on the lips, on the cheeks. I have new bronzers to talk to you about. I have Yves Saint Laurent and I have Christian Dior. On my eyes, however, is a Givenchy. Now, Givenchy is the 9 pan. This is the 9.12. Yes, 9.12. And these 9 pans are usually, they're La 9s, 9 pans. And then they're the Givenchy formula. This one is very neutral. It is a everyday bronzy kind of palette. But the reason I picked it up was for that exact reason. I love these shades. I am somebody who loves neutrals, and I love bronzy neutrals because they go really well with my pale skin, blue eyes, red hair. Let me put up swatches of the 9 pan. I have to say, guys, like I said, this is a very everyday neutral palette. A little bit warm leaning, but it's actually neutral because there's cools in here as well. I love this palette. I absolutely love the formula. I love the shades. I think it's great for every day. It's got nine different shades in it. So you can go warmer, you can go cooler. You can do all kinds of, quote, everyday looks with it, which is what I did today. I will do a really quick, I did film me doing this look. So I'm going to show you that really quickly before we get into the Yves Saint Laurent and Christian Dior bronzers. So I took, and I don't think there's names for these shades, but I took number 9, I took number 8, put it into the crease, and it's a beautiful mushroom shade. Absolutely love that shade. I was like, oh, perfect. Then I took number 9, deepened out the outside of the crease. Then I took number 6, put it all over the eyelid, and I was like, that is just like the perfect peachy shade. I was like, oh, just phenomenal. I took number 4 and then again, just put it on like the outer side of it. Number 7, outer crease, lined my outer crease, like just at the edge, just literally at the edge. Then I took number 7 and I'm sorry, number 7 was when I used an outer crease. Number 4 I used to align my eyes with. I took number 3, which is the white pearly shade, and topped it off on my eyelid. And then I put on some mascara. And here's the thing, is this a revolutionary, never seen before colors? Is it the blue that I have now become what I'm calling? And someone mentioned it, I wish I could remember the woman who mentioned it in my comments, hydrangea blue. That's what it is. It's from Cape Cod. And it all came to me in a second when someone said that in my comments. Yes, that is my favorite color, hydrangea blue. In fact, I have hydrangeas outside of my house. I planted them myself. Oh, actually, Jen, thanks. Jen, my friend Jenny did help me. They're blooming beautifully. But the point is, I love that shade. I love hydrangea blue. I have always loved hydrangea blue. So when I saw those Chanel shoes in my Vegas haul, and by the way, thanks to everyone who's commented and watched that video, that's the shade. It's that hydrangea blue. And actually, I was just watching a who, what, where, whatever post about the shades that are going to be in for fall. One of them, of course, pale blue. And I'll actually do a video on that because there's a bunch of colors that are coming for fall, which I think is welcome to all of us because we're like, we need some color. So yeah, it's not any of those things. It's a neutral. It's a neutral palette. But you know what? It's a really well done neutral palette. And yeah, I really like it. I like this look. I like the formula. I think it's stunning. I think it's, you know, reasonably priced for 9 shadows. All good. I really like it. It's like the new Makeup by Mario palette, the neutrals. I'm going to pick that up. I did a post on Instagram and it was relatively even. It was like 55% yes, 45% no. But I'm going to get it because it's actually one of those palettes that I think will serve me, you know, overall. Like I think it's something like this one that is just good to have because it's a good neutral palette. That one seems a little bit cooler, but you get the gist. This one definitely has some more shimmer shades. The first 3 shades have a satiny effect. The 3rd shade, that white shade, has, which I have on my eyelids, is like, it's not a topper shade, but it has a little bit more than just a satin. Yeah, I think these are beautiful. This is a fantastic formula. I don't talk about Givenchy very often, but when Givenchy does something, I generally like it, like the 9 pans. I don't have too many of them, but I have a few. And this one's really good. So this is the 9.12 9 pan palette. And like I said, a real neutral palette, but it works really well. The formula seems to be the same as the ones that I've had before. It might be a little bit better because it does seem a little reformulated, but They didn't say that, so I can't prove it. But it does seem a little bit better, and it does seem to last longer. At least that's what I got so far. Yeah, that's my take. So the shades are described as matte, satin, and metallic. I didn't see the first three shades are considered metallics. I wouldn't call them metallic, but I get what they're trying to say. There is something there, like I was trying to explain. It's not really a satin, but it's not really there's something about those first three that have a different effect to them. Again, I don't know if I'd call them metallic, but I definitely do really like them, and I think the finish is amazing. On my lips, these are the new, this one is the Suqqu, I don't remember what shade this is. Which color is this? I will make sure, I think it's 9. Hold on, please hold. It's 9, oh, go me. Okay, so Moisture Glaze lipstick in shade 9. So my understanding is that these are permanent. These are not limited editions. However, I would tell you, I might get all of them, all of the shades. I didn't want to do that because I have so much lipstick, and the Tom Ford lipsticks I love, the slim ones, even though they're ridiculously overpriced. And I have some more satin lipsticks coming, and now I have the Chanel lipsticks, and I feel like I'm overcome with lipsticks, but these Suqqu ones are really good. They are extremely good. They are pigmented, they are shiny, they go on beautifully, and they're refillable. I picked up 4 shades. I think there's 9 or 10 shades. I'll put it down below. But anyway, really worth picking up if you haven't already. Dolce & Gabbana Devotion mascara on my eyes. This is an excellent mascara. This is available at Dolce & Gabbana boutiques in the US now, the Devotion line, and it is online as well in the United States, and definitely worth getting. I have nothing on my face, my skin, other than the HD Glow Foundation because we are trying out different bronzers today. So these are the Yves Saint Laurent bronzers. Now, I did not get the shades that everybody thought I was going to get because my essay showed me the shade that I was thinking of getting, and I was just like, no. So let me explain. I picked up 2 and 4, and I will show you the shades in just a second. Then I picked up the Christian Dior bronzers, and I have some more interesting things coming from Christian Dior, by the way, coming soon. And I have it in 3-1 coral bronze and 3-2 pink bronze. These are the lighter ones. There was 2 deeper ones. And I'll get to this in a minute, but I have a feeling these are all going to be too warm. We'll see. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I have a tendency to do that. I'm like, this is not going to work, but we'll see. So here is the pink bronze, coral bronze. You can see though already that these lean warm. And then Yves Saint Laurent. Now, the reason I didn't get 01. My essay sent me pictures of it swatched. Here's 02. Here's 04. There's 01, 02, 03, 04, and 05. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about these before I put them on my face. And I'm going to swatch them so you can see. Two things. Two things. They immediately remind me in shade of the Hermes bronzers, which, as you might know, was, if you've watched me, a fail for me because I couldn't ever get the shade right. And the reason I can never get the shade right is that the first 3 shades are similar to this, light, very light, and warm, and they don't work. So number 1 is light sepia, and online it looks, oh, okay, that would be a great shade for someone like myself. It's pale, it's, you know, it's a light shade, but I saw it on my essay, and honestly, it looked like face powder. It did not look like bronzer. It looked like nothing. And the nothing that it looked like definitely looked warm. So I was just like, okay. Number 2, which is this one, is called Dune. And Dune is, you know, called Buff Dune. What that means, I don't know. 3 is Golden Medina, which is definitely because it's in the name golden. So I was like, no, not that one. 4 is Warm Sandalwood. So again, I was like, It's warm sandalwood, I don't want that, but I saw it on her and I was like, okay, but it does look like it has a little bit of redness. It might be too warm, it might be too deep, but I think it's the right undertone. And then number 5 is definitely too deep for me, but the shade, the undertone is right. It's dark sienna. And so I looked at them and I was just like, all right, I have a feeling none of these are gonna work well, but the best from what I could see on her was 2 and 4. 5 I like the most, but again, it was too deep. Now I have seen now 5 on people who have deeper skin tones than me, which is pretty much everyone, as we all know, and it's not deep enough. So I'm about to use these, I'm gonna show them to you. I don't think they got the colors right. The formula though seems really nice from what I can tell. Again, we're gonna play around with it a little bit. We're gonna take a look. So first I'm gonna just swatch and I'm gonna put it on my face. I'm also gonna put it on my arm so you can see it. But this is gonna be obviously deeper than I would. Okay, there's number 2. Now we're gonna do number 4. The formula feels beautiful, by the way. Can you see how 4 has like a reddish tone? So I want this undertone, but about 3 shades lighter. So that's 2 and 4 in the Yves Saint Laurent. Now, the Christian Dior's. The Christian Dior's Coral Bronze. There really isn't a way. You could be very careful here and just try to get like this without the coral, but I don't know why you do that, because then you could just buy the Dior number 4, which is a perfect shade for me, and just use that. So I'm gonna mix the shades. Do you see how warm that is? You can even see these are cooler. The Yves Saint Laurents are cooler than this coral. Now I'll do the pink. Again, very warm. Now I'll swatch them on my arm so you can see them next to one another. And then what I'll do is I'll put one on one side and one on the other. We'll take a look. But I can just say the Christian Dior formula is really nice. It's very smooth and went on beautifully like their other formula. But the shades, and these are the lighter shades, first of all, these are the lighter shades and they're still warm. Of the 2, I definitely like the pink more if I was gonna go with either one. But the coral one is definitely warm. So if you're looking like a golden, peachy bronzer and you're pale, definitely go with the coral. And if you want something a little bit cooler, go with the pink. All right, I'm gonna swatch them on my arm so you can see them there. Okay, coral bronze, pink bronze. They have a nice luminosity to them too. Coral bronze, pink bronze. They also have a scent. There's definitely a scent there. All right, Yves Saint Laurent, which is much smoother. It's like pure silk. Now remember, this is shade 2, and I'm building it up. And now shade 4. It's like silk, it just glides. Formula is beautiful, but shades aren't my favorite. Okay, so there's a little bit, see how this has like a reddish tone? I do like that. Now, I'm gonna take Terra, which is my favorite. This is the old Terra. Okay, so here's Terra, and here's all these new shades. The closest to Terra that I can find of these is the Yves Saint Laurent 2. And then I would say the Yves Saint Laurent 4 is the next, then the pink bronze, then the coral bronze. So I think Yves Saint Laurent 2 is gonna work for me. I think 4 might actually work for me as long as I keep it light. And I think the pink bronze will be more of a luminescent, but I think the peach bronze is just too orange. Again, 2, 4, coral, pink. Dior, Yves Saint Laurent. Terra, these are the coral and the pink. Here's 2 and 4 in Yves Saint Laurent. So you can see that's 2. and see how it's very similar to the Terra. I don't think the one, if you're looking for a super light, almost like just face powder, then the one might be something you're interested in. But just remember, it is definitely warm leaning because I've seen it and it's warm. It's not, it's just not for me. So I am gonna wash this off, put my foundation back on, and then I'm gonna start with the Yves Saint Laurent 2 so we can see it. Then I'll try the Yves Saint Laurent 4. I'll try the pink, different parts of my face so we can see how it looks on my skin tone. Okay, so let's start with the 2, with the Yves Saint Laurent 2. So I think this is gonna be the one I end up liking the most. Sorry for that, guys. The dogs are, there's someone on their property. All right, so let's try this number 2. So I think this is gonna be, yeah, this is perfect for me. Not too deep. Very much like the Terra. Beautiful formula. Perfect. Perfect. 02. And the name of that one, like I said, is Buff Dune. Literally perfect for me. So this goes in a top drawer because this is a great shade. Love the formula. Fantastic. Now, I'm going to try the 04. Going to take more of a fan brush. Like I said, this is going to be a lot deeper and a little bit redder. So we're going to be careful with this on me. But I think on someone with a more like a medium skin tone, and if you like a cooler bronzer, I think this is going to be great. See that? Now again, too deep for me, but I like the tone of it. So as long as I use it like this, and maybe even in the summer, see how beautiful that is? The tone of that is great. It's got more of that reddish color that I think really works on someone with my skin tone, with my coloring. So I'd say the 02 is perfect. It has that sort of Terra look to it. And then the 04 is better for somebody who has coloring like mine, cool toned, but more of that light medium instead of what I am, which is pale. But I'm still going to use the 04 because I think it's great as like more of a, almost like a contouring shade. And I do think it works on me. I just have to be careful with it. All right, now we're going to do the Dior's. Now, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to put, because you're going to be like, wow, she has way too much. I'm going to use it almost as blush. So I'm going to use a very light fan brush, and we're going to use the 03. Now the 03, the pink, like I said, is, as you saw on the swatches, it's much cooler. This is a powdery formula, but the Dior has a nice formula in their bronzers. This definitely has a scent though, much stronger scent than their regular bronzer. So that's interesting. But I think it has a luminescence to it that is actually quite nice. And yeah, I can use it. See how it has almost like a blush because it's got that luminescence. If you're someone who likes a luminescent bronzer and you don't want something that's super cool, because this one's not. I would say this is, I think it's warm, leaning towards neutral. The pink definitely cools it down, so you've got a little bit more coolness. It has a luminescence to it. I think it's that pink that makes it better for the bronzer part, because the bronzer is supposed to be on the high points of your cheek, on your nose. You know, it's supposed to be like where the sun would hit it. The contour bronzer, the coolness, is more for the contouring here and under your jaw. You wouldn't want to put something like this here because it's going to have a little bit of a luminescent to it, and that's going to attract light, and that's not what you're looking for. But the 04 would probably work really well here. The peach one, I just don't particularly love this peach color because it's too warm. But what I would say is something like this would probably work very well as an eye shade, or if you're looking for a warmer luminescent bronzer, like a golden peachy bronzer, this is your one. The only thing I would say though is I don't know how deep the deeper ones are. This one's actually pretty, it's definitely got pigment. So I think these lighter ones would go up to a medium, and then the deeper ones for deeper skin tones, which is great. These aren't lightly pigmented. Like the one in the Yves Saint Laurent looks very lightly pigmented. The packaging, love the packaging. I think it's beautiful. Let's get a close-up of it. It's really well done. I really like what they did with it. You see the luminosity in it yeah, it's really pretty. Really well done by Christian Dior in the packaging. They look the same. I'm just looking to see if one looks peachier and one looks pinker, maybe a little, but I think it's the same. So you can see, you'd know by the back because the back says peach and pink. And then of course when you open it up, you'll see it. The Yves Saint Laurent, love the packaging. It's like the new quads, the eyeshadow quads. I love this. I love the fact that you've got the brown on the front to signify that it's a bronzer. It's definitely thick, like it's sizable. It's not a thin case, but yeah, I really like it. I think they did a great job with it. Works extremely well. The formula is beautiful. I have nothing bad to say about the bronze powder except for the shades, but now that I found one that's perfect shade for me, I'm happy. It says powered by skincare actives, all hours hyper bronze, blurs imperfections, minimize the appearance of pores while smoothing skin, fully blendable and breathable, fuses instantly onto skin, ensures a seamless application, soft matte finish, subtle sheen. Agreed. Yeah, it's really pretty. It's really nice. $65, selling quickly. It is. There's only one left of certain shades at Nordstrom anyway. 0.26 ounces, 7.5 grams. Hyaluronic acid infused. Oh, that's interesting. That's why it feels so smooth. But it's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous on the skin. This might be my new favorite bronzer, actually. Which is saying a lot because I love Terra, but the new Terra, the new Tom Ford, as I did, if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch that video. The new Tom Ford bronzer, which is still technically the same thing, Terra, it's not the same as the old. I'd say the winner for me is definitely 02. It's my new, again, I've only used it a couple times, and now, of course, I've only used it once for all of you, but I think it's my new favorite bronzer. And even the 4 I like, even though it's too deep for me. I like the undertone, I like the reddish nature of it. It's like I said, it's a little too deep for me, but I'm going to keep it because I love the formula and I think I can use it. But 2 is perfect. 2 is absolutely perfect. And the pink in the Christian Dior I like as a luminescent bronzer. The perfume, though, some of you might be offended by that, to be honest. But I still think it's a little warm. And the peach, the coral, it's just too warm for me. But I'll try it on my eyes in an upcoming video so we can see what we think. And the Givenchy 9.12, fantastic neutral eyeshadow if you're looking for it. And the Suqqu lips, definitely worth picking up. I'll make sure all the links are below. I think that's it today, guys. So I'd love to hear if you picked up the Yves Saint Laurent or the Dior. If you're interested in picking them up after this review, of course, I will continue to use them and give you more updates. And then in April or the end of March, I'll have my best of, worst of spring. But I can tell you right now, the Yves Saint Laurents are definitely going to be in the best of because the formula is amazing. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. Hope to see you in another video really soon.